I love today's title. It's called Eagle's Wings, and we are on day 134 and May the 14th if you're following along on the calendar. And today's morning rinse is Isaiah 40 through 42, and the featured verse is Isaiah 40, verse 3. Yet those who wait for the Lord will gain new strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not get tired. They will walk and not become weary. You probably recognize that featured verse. Regardless of whatever version of the Bible that you read or that you like to, you know that verse. When one gazes at an eagle, you know that there is a lot of magnificence in the way that an eagle just maneuvers life. It's evident that its mere presence of an eagle speaks of power and speaks of beauty. Eagles are just full of grace. This majestic bird, it owns the sky when it's flying above, and just with one little gaze of its piercing eyes or the turn of its sleek head, you know who's in charge, basically. When an eagle lifts off of its perch and puts his wings into motion, it just presents this captivating scene like no other in the sky, in my opinion. This flying bird is so breathtaking, and the wingspan of the bald eagle, it ranges anywhere between 6 to 8 feet wide. Can you imagine that? I mean, I've not been super up close to eagles, and so imagining that or coming in contact with that up close isn't something that I've ever experienced. I've seen videos but not experienced them. In fact, just yesterday I was just scrolling along on social media, and all of a sudden this eagle video popped up, and the span of its wings were so wide and its claws were so strong it lifted up a leopard. I was like, man, is that real? Not only are the eagle's wings just vast in size compared to the most common of flying birds, but they're just literally so powerful. They have this ability to not only fly to an altitude of, I believe, 10,000 feet, but the eagle can glide with the current of storms. And no other bird, from what I was researching, can weather storms like the eagle. And when it comes to storms, an eagle does not fear them. In fact, an eagle will oftentimes use the rushing winds and the currents from the storm to actually lift him above the clouds. While other birds hunker down and hide, the eagle faces the storm head on. I wonder if the other birds know that there is peace above the storm. I wonder if they have any kind of instinct about that at all, but yet they just don't have the ability to do it. I wonder if they know that the storm is what gets the eagle to the peace. I mean, do you want me to repeat that? I wonder if these common birds that we see every single day, I wonder if they know that the storm that is coming is what the eagle gets and uses to get to the peace above the clouds. I mean, I think that it's so easy to forget that storms can be a blessing. You know, we oftentimes look at the storms and think, oh my goodness, everything around me is collapsing and everything is, negative around me and all the things going on with storms. But yet, what we often forget is that storms can be a blessing. They help us to rise above the storm. Storms, if we use the wind of it, yes, of course, the storm can break us, but just as eagles can use the storm clouds to get to the top where there's peace, we can use that storm as well. If we take the opportunity to learn from the storm, it could take us to a whole new level of faith, a whole new level of peace and a whole new level of trust that we never imagined before. May we cease to fight the storms of our life and instead ask God to use them to propel us to where He wants us to be and where He wants us to go. You know, I know that there are times where we have storms, and those storms feel like such an attack from the enemy. And yet, we can still learn from them. And I just pray that we become like the eagle. And we ask God to help us learn from the storm so that we are propelled to exactly where He wants us to be. May we be like the eagles, using the storms to get closer to His peace. My encouragement to you today is to put on your eagle's wings, to put them on. And my challenge to you today, as you dig deeper, is to take a look at your life and to look to see if there's any storms that are brewing, any storms that are going on in your life right now, any storms that you have, whether they be a small thunderstorm or whether they are a huge tsunami. Ask God to teach you how to use your faith through the storm, how to use your eagle's wings to fly above the storm to His peace. And you know, it's so easy to look at those situations in life and think to yourself, well, I don't have the strength to. But you know, an eagle can't learn to fly above the storm if he doesn't get out of his nest and try. And the storms that I have experienced in recent years have helped me to get my eagle's wings just a little bit wider. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm just a little baby when it comes to, you know, living like an eagle. And yet I know that when the storms come, I know what to strive for, and that's to be the eagle. So when you're pulling out your journal tonight, whether that be the companion journal or whether that be your own journal, I want you to write down what it felt like. Did you feel yourself putting on wings like eagles today? You know, and obviously we're going through the books of the Bible and we're going through this journey and we're only just grabbing snapshots of what is in the Word. And, you know, we might read 3 chapters and only focusing on a few verses in that morning rinse. But today, did you feel at all yourself putting on wings like eagles? And if you were, write down what it felt like. And I'm going to read the featured verse again in this version. Isaiah 40, verse 31. Yet those who wait for the Lord will gain new strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not get tired, and they will walk and not become weary. They will head right to the peace above the storm clouds. And that is my wish for you today. I hope today inspired you to call on God and to help, or to ask God to help you span out your eagle's wings, grow them, and rise above the storm to His peace, because His peace passes all understanding. No matter what you are going through, know that you can span your eagle's wings. And until tomorrow, keep rinsing, reflecting, and repeating. God bless you.